Hello everyone. Today we are going to study the famous poem Ode to Skylark by Percy Bysshe Shelley. We have studied about ode in the first module. Now let us learn an ode. We have learned about ode in theory. Let us see how the theory is applied. We have here a very famous ode written by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Let us have the definition of ode once again. And let us see how the features appear in the poem. An ode refers to a form of poetry which is in the form of an address to a particular subject. Theme and treatment of an ode is usually in a dignified manner. You can see the picture of Skylark here, which inspired Shelley to write the poem. This is a short write-up which tells the background of the poem. P.B. Shelley's To a Skylark, Ode to a Skylark, was inspired by the song of a real skylark heard in Italy in 1820. Shelley composed To a Skylark in the summer of 1820 when he was living in Livorno, a town on the northwest coast of Italy. It is one of his most accessible and popular poems. He begins by praising the evening flight of the skylark, then looks without success for examples of equivalent beauty, and finally asks the bird to teach him its sweet thoughts. In her note to the poem, Mary Shelley, his wife, traced its genesis, that is, the origin of the poem, to a particular summer evening. Mary Shelley writes, "While wandering among the lanes whose fences were full of fireflies, we heard the singing of the skylark, which inspired one of the most beautiful of his poems." Now let us move directly to the poem. The original poem and its paraphrase is given side by side. Read the stanza first, then read its paraphrase. The poem begins like this. Hail to thee, blithe spirit, bird thou never wert, that from heaven or near it pourest thy full heart in profuse strains of unpremeditated art. Let us see the meaning of it. The poet welcomes the bird, calling it blithe spirit, meaning a happy soul. He says that it is not an earthly creature, but a heavenly being, heavenly creature, or at least a being near to heaven. The bird pours out from his heart plenty of melodies in a spontaneous manner, without any preparations at all, that is, unpremeditated, without any preparations, in a spontaneous manner. Stanza 2. Higher still and higher from the earth thou springest, like a cloud of fire. The blue deep thou wingest, and singing still dost soar, and soaring ever singest. The meaning is, the bird rises to great heights from the earth, just like a cloud made of fire. The bird flies to the blue sky. The singing rises as the bird rises to the heights. So the bird is flying high, and it is singing as well. And as the bird moves up, the singing also rises up. Third stanza. In the golden lightning of the sunken sun, over which clouds are brightening, thou dost float and run like an unbodied joy whose race is just begun. The golden light of the setting sun brightens up the clouds. The bird flies over the brightening clouds like a spirit of joy whose race has just started. In the golden light of the setting sun, the clouds brightens up and the bird flies over it, and the race of the bird has just only started. It will continue. Stanza 4. The pale purple even melts around thy flight, like a star of heaven. In the broad daylight thou art unseen, but yet I hear thy shrill delight. In the fading purple color of the sky, the bird becomes invisible. Just like a star of heaven, in the broad daylight, the bird is not seen. However, the shrill, delightful singing of the bird can be heard. So, the bird becomes invisible along with the sky. However, the music, the delightful music of the bird can be heard. Though it is not visible, the song can be heard. Stanza 5. Keen as are the arrows of that silver sphere, whose intense lamp narrows in the white dawn clear, until we hardly see, we feel that it is there. The joy of the bird or the happiness of the bird is strong, keen, as the rays of moon, silver sphere, that is moon. So the joy of bird is strong as the rays of moon. Light of the moon becomes less and less as the white sun rises. Then we will not see the moon, but we know that it is there. The bird is invisible, but its presence is felt through its song. So, the joy of the bird is as strong as the rays of moon. As the light of the moon becomes lighter and lighter when the sun rises up. We won't see the moon then, but we know that it is there. The bird is invisible, but its voice, its beautiful song can be heard. See, here is a comment on stanza 1 to stanza 5. These stanzas describe the skylark, the sweetness of its song as it rises up in the sky. The poet even feels that it is a heavenly creature. As it rises up, the song also rises. The bird flies over the clouds, which is brightened by the golden rays of setting sun. The bird becomes invisible in the fading purple color of the sky, but its presence is felt by the song. The joy of the bird is like the ray of moonlight. With dawn it will not be seen, but the presence will be felt. So that was a comment on the stanza 1 to stanza 5. Let us move on. Stanza 6 to 10. All the earth and air with thy voice is loud, as when night is bare, from one lonely cloud the moon rains out her beams and heaven is overflowed. all earth and sky are overflowing with the birds' music. Music everywhere. Just like the lonely clouds store up moon's light and diffuse it all over the sky, the lark's voice floods the atmosphere like heaven overflowed. How the music is spread all over the earth and sky. Just like the lonely clouds will be grasping the light of the moon and it will be spreading all over the sky. Similarly, the lark's voice floods the atmosphere. It is like heaven overflowed. Stanza 7. What thou art we know not. What is most like thee? From rainbow clouds there flow not drops so bright to see, as from thy presence showers a rain of melody. We human beings do not know who the bird really is. What can we compare the bird to? The rain of melody showered from the bird's presence is brighter than the drops that flow from the rainbow clouds. The beauty of rainbow is enjoyed by the eye, but the beauty of Skylark's song is enjoyed by the ear. Stanza 8. Like a poet hidden in the light of thought, singing hymns unbidden, till the world is wrought to sympathy with hopes and fears it heeded not. Like a poet absorbed in bright ideas and vision, the bird sings devotional songs spontaneously, hoping that the world will not ignore it. So just like a poet who is immersed in the bright ideas and vision, the bird sings devotional songs, spiritual songs, spontaneously, and the bird hopes that the world will not forget it, ignore it. Next. Like a high-born maiden in a palace tower, soothing her love-laden soul in secret hour, with music sweet as love, which overflows her bower. The bird is compared to a beautiful royal girl, a girl from a royal family, who comforts her soul filled with love. The bird does this by music as sweet as love, which flows out of her secret room. Bower means secret room. 10th stanza. Like a glowworm golden in a dell of dew, scattering unbeholden its aerial hue among the flowers and grass which screen it from the view. The glowworm is hidden from view by the flowers and grass, but its lights can be seen. Similarly, the bird is hidden from view, but its music can be heard. So, a comment on the stanzas 6 to 10. The poet continues the description of the bird and its sweet music. The sweet music fills air like heaven overflowed. The melody sung by the bird is beautiful than the rainbow. Spiritual songs are sung by the bird in hope that it will not be ignored by the world. With the sweet music, the bird comforts its soul. Though the bird is hidden, its voice can be heard, just like the light of the glowworm is heard even when it is hidden. So that is the poem and its paraphrase. See, when you read, in order to read slowly, just pause the video, then read the poem, read the stanza, then read the paraphrase, then read it once again. Then you will be able to grasp the meaning of it. So just by listening to it one time, you won't be able to understand it completely, because the poem is written in ancient complicated language. So when you are listening, when you are studying the poem, you should pause the video, read the poem and then the paraphrase slowly. So we will continue the next 10 stanzas in the next class. The poem in total consists of 20 stanzas. So we have discussed 10 stanzas now. So I'm stopping here. Thank you.